to go 2-1 and finish atop this tournament.
Hofstra and West Virginia 2-1. Chance for a little three-way tangle up top. And first service underway here in Reynolds Gym. Opening swing and a kill for the Naval Academy. Lily Lutz, the senior, who did not have a kill her last 3 years, but inserted in the lineup this year, leads the team with 13.
Yeah, she's really interesting. She's a senior, but this is only her 5th match.
A lot of new faces. Two tremendous twins, Jordan and Jamie Llewellyn, all conference, both graduated. And a great save by Charles, but no one there to help. An ace for the Academy. Now, some teams have push-it mantras, but when you're the Naval Academy, you drop down and give me 10 real easy.
I'm telling you, it's nothing to them.
Here's Hannah Hoover on the service line. Just one of 4 seniors here for Coach Labrador. Becca Bellows runs the offense in set 1. Wake ran a 6-2 last night, went a one-setter offense Friday, and a good kill down line for our player to watch coming in, Hawania Lore.
Yeah, and a great start by Navy. They get the first 3 points, all of them on serve.
Anuea Hawania Lore, her first 3 starts are this week for the junior. Has been a rotational player her first 2 years at the Academy. Now a back set for Ricks, who had 13 kills last night. Led the charge for Wake in the 5-set comeback. And Hawania Lore again getting going. 4-0 start for Navy.
Yeah, 3 kills on 3 swings for Navy. No kills on 2 swings for Wake Forest. Wake Forest got to get a little bit better pass here to start.
This is a Navy team that's hit 104 in its first 2 matches. Struggled to score and did earn a set off West Virginia on Saturday. Good block at the net on the swing from Maruska. She goes again down line and touches, or does not touch hands, and forcing a timeout. Actually, Randy Smart going to keep going here, down 5-0.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to use her timeout right now. I think she wants to make them get out of this. Sometimes you just have to say, look, y'all got to play. You've got to get a swing or a missed serve, whatever works.
That'll stop the 5-0 run. Wake on Saturday, it was the blocking at the net. 18 combined blocks. In this match so far, Navy 3 for 3 at the net. And here's the Rice transfer, Maruska, one of 4 key transfer additions. Little deep on the back set, and it leads to an antenna touch.
Yeah, set a little bit too far behind. You're right-handed, your hand is close to that antenna, and so you need that set to be a little bit inside so you can drive it through. And it was too far out, so she hit the antenna with it.
That was Issa Boyd, the freshman setter, leading the charge. And that's an illegal touch on Navy, so Wake Forest gets the point.
Setter's in the back row right now, so she cannot be a part of a tack or a block. Once she breaks the plane of the net, it's an automatic back row.
Which is why Charles knew that was so aggressive swinging at the net.
Yep.
Versus a front row player, you have to avoid that contact, let the verticality happen. All the nuances as that ball hits the roof and stays in play. Intimate, cozy feeling here in Reynolds Gym. And that ball shot out of the building, point Naval Academy.
So one of the things yesterday for Wake Forest they did so well is they committed 0 attack errors in the first set. They hit 500 in that first set, really set the tone. And Coach Smart, after the match, even said, we really prided ourselves on starting the set strong. The reverse of that is happening right now.
That match was a sets of runs. Hit 500 set 1, hit negative in set 2. And how about the roof at the net from Ava Toppin, the junior middle?
Well, Navy's block has certainly showed up. That's already, I think, the 3rd block for them.
A half block for the 2 pin and middle combo there as a deep serve goes long. This is a Navy team that had its most wins in 5 years a season ago. 19 victories, finished 4th in the Patriot League, and take on a Wake Forest club. Cracked the top 10 in the ACC last year. That was a big goal for Randy Smart. This year they're picked 11th in a loaded preseason. Great dive on the back end, and that goes over. Rex touches hands, and that goes out. Point Wake Forest.
So what is that? We talked in the open about her jumping ability. So what does that do? Well, if you have that hang time, you can see the court. While you're in the air, you can take a peek. She sees the blocker up, little tip off the fingers, easy tool. it's just, if you have that hang time, it makes the game so much easier.
The Maryland transfer has been impactful here in her first weekend. And there's Ricks helping out with the block as well.
And of course, you can also hang up there and get the block when the attacker's coming down.
She was joined by the block queen from a day ago, Tina Grikovic, the Serbian product.
Yeah, the two of them up in the front row together is a tough challenge for anybody.
Emma Farrell on a float serve. And another nice kill. That's 3 for Hawanialor.
Well, like I said, she was the player we spotlighted at the beginning for a reason. She is the go-to player for Navy. Now, it's going to be interesting for the mids here when she's in the back row. Who becomes their go-to on the outside?
Hawanialor was a high school teammate with Elena Oglivde, who plays at Stanford right now. Good product out of Hawaii. And Ricks jumps out of the building.
Are you kidding me? Watch this. Just watch and admire. Big hole in the block. Basically no block. And when there's no block, let it go.
One of the more athletic pin hitters Wake Forest has ever had in this program. And Ricks with 2 commanding kills. Now it's the second setter coming in. Ryan Baker for Wake on serve. Here's Baker teeing it up. And right in the middle of the court, Olivia Murphy, back from injury this year with the point.
And Olivia Murphy's been a really good story in these first 3 matches. She has been near or at the top. She led the team on Friday. I think she was 1 off the team lead yesterday. But like you said, coming off an injury, and she's been a huge presence so far in the first 2 matches of the year.
And Saturday, it was her blocking presence. 5 blocks. There's Baker with the ace, and Wake's back in it, now up 1.
Well, the thing about volleyball that is really, a lot of people don't seem to understand is just how much the momentum plays a factor in this sport. Like, you can lose the first 5 points of a set, but the set's to 25. You can have a 5-0 run later and just catch right up.
That one shot long, and Navy, who was up 6-1 early, now down 2. What do you just see here from the Naval Academy on this serve receive?
My thing is, they're best hitters in the back row. And so when you're young and inexperienced, you're like, okay, now what do we do? Who is going to get us out of this rotation?
5 of the top 6 scorers have graduated from a year ago. So a freshman setter tees it up. And Baker elected to play that ball. Point Navy. It was very close.
Yeah, I don't mind the decision to play the ball. I mind where her platform was. It was a little bit high. And I think if she gets that platform down a little bit, she's got a much better chance.
That was Arlie Hansen on the kill. Ava Toppin there as well. Paige Crawford gets a touch in the back row. And point Wake Forest.
Yeah, that was lucky too, because that ball was going out, but the middle back, we could hear it in the gym go off her hands, or off her wrists.
I can hear conversations all over this gym.
That's true.
We are
you
intimate,
said an intimate setting.
And loaded up here. 600 plus the last 2 days, but an awesome atmosphere.
And I'll tell you, Navy has brought quite a few people here.
And a kill and a high touch. That's Farah Ike, the freshman out of Parker, Colorado.
And she's that other outside. She's the player, but she, like I said, just a freshman. A lot of potential, but it's only the 3rd match of her college career. So how much confidence does she have in being the player to get the ball?
Here's Ike going up for the block. Naval Academy, 3 players from the state of North Carolina. Good turnout this weekend. And that never touched a player, so into the net. Point Wake Forest. All of a sudden, that block playing a factor, Everett.
Yeah, I think, again, it's the 3rd match of the season. So you got to kind of get used to it. You got to get used to the opponent. You've never seen this opponent before, so you don't know what they're trying to do. It takes a rotation or so to go, okay, this is where they're trying to attack us. Now we can set our block a little bit better.
Wake averaging 2.7 blocks a set. That's a high number. And here's on the offensive end, Murphy tight to the net.
She did a good job just to keep that in play, honestly.
That was Hoover, the libero, to save it. And that ball goes out. You see Wake with its 4th hitting error of the set.
Yeah, first set was a little bit past the antenna. Murphy did a good job of keeping it in play. Second set might have been a little bit low. She tried to swing at it anyway.
Here's the Hillsborough native Amara Chambers, who won a state title 2 years ago. And what a roof at the net. Grace Burgoyne with the block.
Well, Burgoyne is 6'4", so she's a presence in the middle.
And Burgoyne had to get rid of some jewelry there for a second. Clean the wrist. It was pretty good on the block right there. Now she goes up on the double, gets a piece, but a net touch. Maybe the jewelry cost her.
Well, now, look, she's got long arms. She's reaching, she's penetrating, but sometimes those long arms just catch the top of the net with her forearm, and I'm willing to bet that's what happens here. See, forearm right off the top of the net. And it's just, she's long.
And Coach Labrador with a challenge he's considering. Okay, he'll use it. He's claiming there was no touch.
No, I think it's going to be pretty clear that her forearm hit the top of the net.
Paco, who's won over 550 career matches in his naval career.
So they're challenging the net ruling. They're saying that the middle did not, are asking, the ruling is that 22 touched the net with her forearm. And from the replay we saw, I thought it was pretty obvious. But again, even when you're a blocker, though, you don't always feel it. And he may have said, did you touch it? And she's like, no. And it's not that she's not being honest. She just literally might not have felt it.
And that call stands.
Like I said, the look we saw was pretty conclusive. I think there's no real doubt here that the middle coming across her forearm, right forearm is going to catch the top of the net.
Yeah, right there. So one challenge remaining for Navy unless we go 5 sets. Or Navy wins the challenge. D. Batchelor there, our R2, along with Kevin Wendelby. Charles with the height disadvantage gets a piece of it. And now her hands lead to a roof. What an aggressive play from the sophomore middle.
Yeah, really good job by Charles closing and getting the block. And like you said, Wake Forest block was so good yesterday. And it took a couple of points off at the beginning, but they're starting to get touches now.
18 team blocks yesterday. That would have been their second highest total of the year last season. What an explosive start. 5-set win over West Virginia. And Charles goes in the middle and beats the pancake of Issa Boyd.
Yeah, I think if Issa Boyd had that to do over again, she had time to get it.
And we'll take the timeout. Wake Forest up 3.
It's great for the players. It really helps the players get juiced up and get the blood flowing when you're in here.
Here is Becca Bellows, the freshman setter who trades duties with Ryan Baker. Ryan yesterday notched her 1,500th career assist. Bellows in her 3rd ever match. And that ball shot long, a hitting error for Navy.
Yeah, she's going to want that one back. She had a big hole in the block. Cross was open. She just missed it.
These next 3 rotations, Howenia Lore. I'll put $1 into the jar. I knew I'd said that wrong once today. Hits it long.
I'm just leaving it for you.
First-year starter, now in the middle. Good swing from the sophomore Burgoyne.
And I think Navy's going to have to do more of that when they get the pass, because right now, so far in this match, they've been very one-dimensional, going high outside most of the time. And I think that if they can work that middle in, it'll be to their advantage.
Now 5 different players with kills for Navy. Wake led by 2 from Charles and Ricks. Great save in the back.
That Wake block is huge on that right side.
And then Charles impacting the shot there, a low swing from Lutz.
Yeah, Wake Forest only has 2 blocks officially, but they're getting the touches. So many touches is frustrating. Again, we're going to mention it all afternoon, but Navy is very young. And when you're young and inexperienced, those frustrate you when you're not getting your swings.
Here's one experienced veteran, Doris Nelson, the senior right side from Long Beach, California. Played in 40 career matches, mostly as a reserve. And her first swing is actually down for a point. Good swing there.
Yeah, really good swing. And again, being a little bit more diverse on the net. Not everything going outside. We've seen a kill from the middle and a kill from the right on consecutive points for Navy.
When Emma Farrell's roaming the back, I waited an extra second.
And as well you should.
To say if the ball falls down. A 2-time all-conference player. Farrell there on serve receive. And Crawford, a high touch, but finds the perfect spot on the court.
And you want to talk about Farrell on that? That was a diving serve receive. That wasn't an easy pass. She had to move and she had to dive. But it was a 3-option set for the setter.
One of the best defensive players in the ACC, Emma Farrell. Andy Smart sometimes notes she makes the game look so easy. I have to find something to coach her on. Now she patrols the back, and that ball ricochets through. A point for Navy. That's Ava Toppin, the Carolina Beach native.
I don't think they gave that to Navy. He's pointing towards Wake Forest point. I think they called that ball out, possibly.
Let's see. Unless they're claiming it's a lift. Interesting.
Unsure.
Point being, Wake's now up 5. And a whistle here. We have a net touch on Wake.
Yes.
Okay, we do.
Yeah.
That's Kevin Wendelby explaining everything as our lead ref today.
Yeah, they called Ricks in the net there.
Kind of evens out the last 2 points. Makes
I
it
think
work.
it's fair.
All is fair in Love Warren Sunday Volleyball, her ACC Network Extra. Hawania Lore, who's had a couple aces this weekend, but a good service option. Whoa, Maruska takes target from the back row.
We haven't seen Maruska swing from the back row yet this year, and she exploded out of that swing. Navy certainly was expecting to see the middle drop back. She took a step off the net, and that left a wide open net for Maruska to swing at, no block.
Between Maruska and Ricks, there's some powerful hitters on this Wake attack.
Big time arm swing, no question.
How can Navy respond? Down 5. That's a good swing as well. And Emerson Lionberger, the freshman of Nebraska, her first point. Growing up steps from Lincoln, where obviously UN is fantastic.
Got a little bit of a volleyball tradition at Nebraska.
Here they are, number 4 in the country this week. Crawford keeps it alive, and she'll free it over. Navy in system, and Lionberger wants a touch. She'll get it at the net. Imagine all the years watching Merritt Beeson as an All-American now for Nebraska, and now she fills those shoes all the way across the country in Annapolis. Murphy getting a good touch of the hands at the net, so point Wake Forest.
And again, a very smart play. She's up there, she can see the floor, she sees the hands, and just wipes it off for a kill. The right sides for Wake Forest, we're going to get a Navy timeout here, but the right sides for Wake Forest, both Murphy and the right sides have really done a great job.
Here's a glimpse of Navy early on with that 5-1 start, but then Wake got rolling with their right side.
Yeah, and like I said, that right side attack has been perfect all weekend. Maruska out of the back row. That's just, like I said, you saw the middle kind of come off the net and then go, uh-oh, she's swinging. She tries to go up to block, but she was way too late.
I'd love to get a radar cut on that swing, the actual contact point there.
Yeah, that would be interesting because you look at in the Olympic level, since we just had the Olympics, you're looking at about 65 to 70 for the women and closer to 85 to 90 from the men. But yeah, I mean, 70 miles an hour coming at you from 30 feet away, that's, you got to make some decisions.
Not just got a body on it, but even trying to save it. That's a great point. With that velocity between Ricks and Maruska today. So out of the timeout, Paige Crawford to serve. Wake 4 points from winning set 1. That was the true freshman picking that up, that serve, Ike, and then a swing into the net. That's 8 attacking errors now, and part of that's due to Wake's presence defensively.
It really is. And like I said, still only 2 blocks as Navy calls another timeout. It's only 2 blocks. But that block, again, we mentioned the senior Lutz, 3 years, 3 starts. So even their experienced players aren't really that experienced.
And conversely for Wake, all 6 of their starters have played at some level, whether it's a transfer coming in or here at Randy Smart's program.
Yeah, she's done a great job adding the grad transfers this year.
Hansen looking to stop this run, and Farrell digs it out. That is a specialty of hers. The same on the middle on the backside. Here's Murphy through the double, and Wake on a 5-0 run.
Wake they started taking control of this set about 10 minutes ago, but it's just a continuation of what they did yesterday. Solid blocking, big swings from the right side, and now Maruska on the left side has had a couple of big swings.
Over ball. Oh, nice save from the setter.
And she's back row.
Yep, and cannot play that. And so Wake here on a 4-0 run to jump ahead. Set point.
And there's nothing the setter can do. She's got to try. She's just in the back row, and the rules don't allow her to touch it above the net.
Wake was trailing 5-1 in the set. They've dominated since. And an ace secures it. Wake Forest impressive here, 25-17 in set one.
Yeah, they really did. Like match, she's going to say, I'm proud of them for figuring it out on their own and not making me take a timeout there.
Paige Crawford with an overpass to begin set two. And Dior Charles' active hands all weekend has made things move for Wake. What a save by the libero there, Hoover. Farrell does the same. And then Crawford keeps it in play. A block out, Naval point.
It's a great rally from both teams. You mentioned both liberos making diving plays to keep the ball alive. A smart play by Crawford, not trying to do too much. Sometimes you just got to keep the ball in play.
Emma was high-fiving her teammate as the serve started, then got in position to set up the swing. An amazing junior on that back line, and a great kill backside for Lily Lutz.
And again, Navy jumps out to a quick lead.
It was 5-0 set one. And now Navy on serve here in the second set. Lutz has been the bright spot, highest hit percentage for a Naval outside hitter.
Like I said, she's their senior. She's the one that should be leading this team. She's a captain. She just doesn't have a ton of playing experience.
Here's Paige Crawford, a returning ACC standout. She goes down line for the point.
It's her third kill. But this one, we talk about going line. The block is set angle, and she got that good hip turn down the line.
Randy Smart noted this offseason wanting to lessen the amount of swings on Crawford. She was among the top 5 players in total attacks in the ACC.
And I think that's really smart.
A middle block like that will help. Gerkovich the roof.
The blocking always helps, but we talked about those right side players with Rick and with Murphy. Those are going to take some of the swings off of Crawford. And also Maruska is going to take some of the swings off, especially if she can get one from the back row every now and then.
Crawford took over 1,000 swings last year, and she was third in the conference in doing it. That time she's part of a block, and the swing misses long, so point Wake Forest.
Every hitter wants to hit. And I'm sure she would have said, hey, I could have taken 1,000 more. But over a career, that shoulder starts to get sore.
Audrey Koning of Florida State, the player of the year, she took 1,200 swings.
I'm telling you.
But right up there with her is Paige Crawford. Just over 3 kills a set. What a roof again. Grekovich combining on the front row.
Grekovich might make all tournament in this tournament with a handful of kills, because she has been a blocking machine out there. Her defense is the reason she's on the floor.
She had 13 blocks yesterday. That was the most in 8 years for a Wake Forest player. A little late that time, but the shot misses wide anyway. And it's Wake with the last 5 points.
Grekovich already has 3 today, so she's that was also a 5-set match. She got all those in, so.
Leading to a timeout for Navy. We will take the timeout. Wake Forest rolling here in set 2. We can.
Jamie Santor is actually one that I'm really interested in, because it's only her first year of playing indoor in the last 4 years. She was played beach at Hawaii.
All 4 of those players making moments in the first 2 days. It's not just Reagan Rutherford coming from Kentucky to the #1 team in the country, Texas. There's a transfer with a swing and a point for Navy. How important are those new arms for Wake? How can they help come ACC play?
Oh, I think they're tremendous. We talk about Ricks taking swings off of Crawford, not making her have to swing as much. if Petrovic can have those blocking days where she's really solid, I mean.
And then Ricks does what she does best with a kill.
That is the answer to your question.
Wake's been looking for right side hitting with the injury to Olivia Fish, and in comes Layla Ricks.
I mean, the block is late, and the right side's floating. That's trouble. If you don't set a block against her, you've got problems.
Yeah, 1v1. She's nearly unstoppable. Hit over 500 last night with 13 kills, continuing that today. And Howell Leonore gets the point off the hands of Wake.
Yeah, that's a good swing, and she went line. We were talking about going line. She goes line. She hits it off the outside blocker hand into the antenna.
Howell Leonore only played in 6 matches last year. A lot of watching of 3 all-conference pin hitters that have since graduated. But it's her team this year. Ooh. Rikovic will make it work.
Well, that.
Yeah, Baker was a little off on the set, but the talented transfer able to drop that one in, the Rutgers product.
Yeah, that's the advantage of being tall, is having that reach. 6'2".
And with a wingspan much longer.
Yeah.
There's an ace for Paige Crawford.
And that's a seam serve. That's one where you're putting 2 players in conflict. Whose ball is it?
And that's one of Navy's best hitters as well. That time the back row player makes the contact. Howell Leonore could then swing. Oh, Maruska from the opposite side.
Maruska jumps a little bit better than I thought she did. When you watch her the first 2 nights, but now she's getting up there. She's hitting almost 10 feet.
Her chest is getting to the net
That's
as well.
what I'm saying. Her reach is getting close to 10 feet where she is above the block hitting that ball. I didn't know she had that kind of jumping ability.
At only 5'9", she is making the most of that verticality. And then a miss serve. There's an ace for Wake. Navy's already used its timeout in this set, which makes these next 2 to 3 points very, very important.
Yeah, they've got 1 left, but you'd hate to use it before 15 points in the set because it gives you nothing in case you're able to come back.
Wake playing in system this entire set, and Murphy continues that. As a team, they're heading close to 700.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. We're going to take a look at some of what we're talking about. Setters always in the back row, always 3 hitters in the front. Now Navy's not blocking very well. I will say that on a lot of these attacks for Wake. Notice that there are very rarely 2 blockers together. There's big holes in the Navy block.
That's a 5-0 run that's forced that timeout. And you're right, there's no hitting errors for Wake in the set either.
Right, and part of the reason is because the blocking for Navy has not been very good in this set. But in that same thing, why is the blocking not very good? Because the setters are moving the ball around and they don't know where to go.
Yeah, 4 for Murphy, 3 for Ricks, 3 for Crawford, 3 for you and me. Everyone's getting a swing. As that serve goes into the net.
I got another couple.
Everett, I have to say, if there's ever a faculty staff competition, you're my first pick.
Well, that's fair. I'm getting old, though. That's the problem.
But you have experience.
I've got experience.
Savvy players know how to spread the court.
Just can't jump like I used to.
I'll be the setter for the offense.
Fair enough.
Baker, what a pipe play, and that sneaks through the block. Point Wake Forest.
Maruska, Maruska's coming out party. She's having a really nice match.
Maruska had 18 kills the first 2 days, but some powerful kills for her 4th.
She had a quiet 18 kills, I feel like.
Absolutely. Shadowed by Ricks yesterday, and that serve goes long.
And I think that's really it, is that on the first day it was Murphy that was playing so well, and then Murphy and Ricks the second day. And so Maruska's been playing well. She just hasn't been one of the top couple of attackers.
And come ACC play, you need that tertiary option.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a long set for Baker. And Maruska continues her success.
Yeah, she's feeling good about it today. You can tell when you're slightly off the net, the ball's coming from your opposite shoulder, and you're still willing to swing at it. It means you're feeling pretty good about the way things are going. A lot of players would have tipped that ball.
Part of that, too, is rating the naval block, and there hasn't been as many double blocks. Gives you a lot more room for confidence to swing. Here's a nice back set. Oh. Confused the hitter there, Leinberger, and then sneaking through the block, Charles.
Tell you what, that's a great run of the middle. In transition, middle's in transition. You score a lot of points when you're running the middle in transition. Everybody's expecting that to go outside. You see the middle for Navy is cheating outside. The Wake Forest middle comes in and gets the kill.
And Maruska had a smart, or Ricks had a smart ball there, super high on the loft.
Absolutely.
Buys time for the setter to read the defense. The last 3 Navy points have been on Wake errors. Otherwise, it's been all Wake in this set.
Yeah, you never want to count on the other team having to make mistakes. That's not a very good recipe.
Good news if you're Wake, you're +1 in aces to errors. Challenges Crawford on that serve. Okay, Maruska, well, hold on. It did touch the antenna,
yeah.
But it actually stayed in, which is hard to even imagine.
I'm telling you what, she's jumping so well. Really getting up, getting full arm extension, and getting a lot of power, as you said. Unfortunately, that one clipped the antenna.
Ricks going left hand. And then Maruska wisely plays it off the net. Her 5th kill, make it 6 now.
Now, once that ball gets into the plane of the net, it's free for the other side to touch. But I've been really impressed with Maruska in this match. 6 kills, 333, playing very well.
She was hidden behind 2 all-conference pin hitters at Rice a year ago, but making her moments this weekend. Ricks will play it into the net. That ball goes over. Crawford wins the joust. And now Wake in system. Back set Baker. Ricks tips it home, and the transfers are making their presence felt.
They absolutely are. Ricks, Mariska, both playing very, very well. And I just, again, look at the hang time. Look at the time she has to make that decision. She wanted to go cross court, but she's like, look, you know what? There's a nice piece of court right here, and I can just tip to there and I'll score.
And Lutz and Toppin jumped after Ricks.
I know,
she was
they're
still
delaying.
in the air. They came down, and then she read it.
They are delaying their block on her.
Pays to be athletic.
Yes, it does. Now more than ever.
Baker goes to Charles into the double. Little traffic on the 405, but everyone's okay. And that ball sneaks through for a point. Ava Toppin, the North Carolina native. Back in her home state, the Carolina Beach product. And went to high school in the Apex area, green level. That was a dipping, masterful serve.
Yeah, that was a good float serve. It had, like you said, a lot of dip at the end.
Amara Chambers pulling the string out of that serve. Tries it again. I'm not sure that was intended for Crawford, but it works. And then the block cleans it up.
I actually think it was. I think what Wake Forest is doing is they're running sort of a tandem play where the middle is a fake, trying to get the middle to jump with her and then go outside to the on a shoot, essentially a 31.
The block officially for Ricks, and Wake has dominated this set. Back up 7. Now those blocks the story. 3 as a team in the set. Farrell off the tape. Olivia Frankie is checked in the middle, and that ball lands right in the middle of everybody.
Yeah, good to see Frankie back on the court. She had got a little bit of an injury on Friday night, did not play at all yesterday, but now she's back out there.
Frankie, the redshirt senior, officially over 100 matches in her Wake career. Looking to close out set 2. Bellows the back set, and Ricks is rolling. That's 5 kills.
It's almost unfair. She just has so much time to read the defense and see what they're doing. and deciding where she wants to hit. And she's got the little shots. She's got the tip. She's got the roll into the middle. And, oh, yeah, she's also got the big swing to go with it.
And then Hayden Wagner continuing to provide some insight, the assistant coach here at Wake in his second year. I wonder what he says after a rotation like that.
Good
hey,
job.
keep it going. Do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
That one's tipped. Murphy takes a huge swing, but does not get hands. Point Navy.
And you're okay with that. I mean, you've got a 6-point lead. It's not that you want to give away points, but this is the time to be aggressive.
A Wake team that came out slow Friday offensively, but responded yesterday in a 5-set win. Now Hansen tracks it down on the set, and the left-handed swing comes up short.
Yeah, that's just a matter of trying to cut it, trying to be too perfect on your cut.
That's a sophomore, and Arlie Hansen, the lone returner offensively. She played 23 matches last year. Everybody else is new on the court. That is a hard ask of any program, especially one like Navy that does not hit the transfer portal traditionally.
Very difficult to get people to transfer to the academy.
The service academies in Clemson football.
Yeah.
As that ball hits hands and lands in, Frankie with the block.
Frankie making her presence known at the net, adding to the blocking for Wake Forest, which is officially 5.
That's now officially her 275th block for the Virginia product. Crawford with a frisky serve. And the slide, well done for Burgoyne. It's not as conventional for the middle, but she makes it happen.
Yeah, she's had a couple of good swings out of the middle. They're kind of moving her around a little bit.
Because at 6'4", she has size.
She definitely has size and a long reach.
She was a pentathlete in high school, by the way. She calls for it, but it goes the other way.
Got an interesting note about the pentathlon you might not know.
Oh, hit me.
Okay, so in the Olympics, you know, the pentathlon, and it makes sense to the military school because it is all of the things you used to do in war. You have to shoot, you have to ride, you have to run, you have to do all the 5 things. Well, because you don't ride anymore, they're taking the equestrian part out of the pentathlon and adding like rock climbing or something.
Oh, you have to fill the 5 spots. Great call. Yep. That rolls over the double of the pentathlete. And a nice play by the setter to keep it up. Murphy takes target. Wake Forest cruising.
Just watching right here again, one-on-one block. You see how late that middle is. The one thing that Navy's middles are not doing is they're not reading these sets and they're not able to close.
Baker got a hand on it and a kill in the middle for Navy, who, despite struggling offensively, is only down 6.
They're down 6, but there's only 4 more points for Wake Forest to win. You never want to be down by more than it takes the other team to win, so you got to get some points off serve if they're going to get back into it.
Let's see what the senior Hannah Hoover can do. Ike into the double. We'll try it again. That block of Charles is tipping everything. Wake with all the options. Maruska kept alive. Oh, net touch.
Somebody's in it, yeah.
Yeah, that was the middle for Navy. Julia Humphrey, the middle blocker out of Stockdale, North Carolina.
There wasn't much doubt that somebody got it, just a matter of figuring out who it was. But again, Wake Forest has been siding out very well. They're at 62%. But when you're down for Navy, you can't, it makes it very challenging to come back when the other team's siding out 2/3 of the time.
Becca Bellows gets an overpass, and then Dior Charles puts it away. Wake, 2 points from the set.
And Wake Forest just playing really well right now. Navy a little bit inexperienced, a little bit young, and they're just running into a buzzsaw right now.
Charles with her 3rd kill, missed the final month of last season due to injury, adding to the depth of that middle position. Here's Ricks. Navy with a dump. Farrell slides everywhere. Same on this end of the court. What an effort by Hoover. Now Charles in the middle wins it on a wacky point.
Wacky but hustle, both sides. Sprawling all over the court, trying to keep the ball alive. And as you look at it, that's a great effort to get it over the net. But Wake Forest gets in system and makes the play.
Set point. Crawford could not get there, so the set continues. Couple of subs now for Navy. Issa Boyd re-enters to serve. And in the middle for the first time, Paige Bizzario, the sophomore at Chino Hills, comes in. Wake to swing for the set. Maruska got it. It is in. Point Wake Forest.
Maruska.
The start so far, Sahara Maruska to serve. That was a real tight decision for Hoover. Navy's been unable to affect this game with their block at the net. Just 2 team blocks and no chance stopping Ricks.
Yeah, Ricks is having a good match. Second big match in a row for her. She led the Deacons in kills yesterday. She gets her 6th, but 6 on 10 swings with no errors. She's hitting 600.
So challenging to stop from that right side. Navy has brought in 10 different subs, trying every option to slow down this hitting attack. Oh, this swing will ricochet around and Carnival back down, but that's ruled out of play.
Yeah, that ball got stuck in the rafters, so it gave too much time to get under it. I can understand why they blew that down.
Now on the pinball machine, I'll be patient and let it unfold.
Yep.
But in the volleyball gym, there are some boundaries. I wish they would have told us as kids those gumballs would lead to molars and surgeries down the road, but they taste great. So that one shot out of the building.
Yeah, that not quite high enough. She hit it very flat, unable to get top spin.
Once you drop that elbow, it's nearly impossible to keep a ball in play.
Yep.
Here's the Katy, Texas product, Hannah Hoover. Emma Farrell made that return look so easy, but it's not. Here's Farrell coming into bump set. Rex takes target and misses long.
That's her first error of the night.
That looked closer to the eye than it seemed, but just out.
And once again, Navy jumps out to an early lead during the first 3 rotations.
It was 5-0 in 1, 2-0 in 2, and Randy Smart confirming what the lead ref had the call of, or if he's going with the line judge, and then she can challenge. Okay.
She's going to challenge.
Using the green card.
And they're challenging whether the ball was in or out.
It looked real tight on that back line.
It was ruled out.
I didn't see a touch. So that in-out is the ruling.
Yeah, she pointed to the floor as they were looking for in or out.
So let's take a look. Yeah, I think that's in.
I got that on the line. But the whole ball has to clear the whole line. Now, you and I both played outdoor, and so you would see the string jump, and you would know it, but line doesn't jump here, but I had that ball. I think that ball caught the back half of the line.
You know, one of these days we'll get the tennis technology and put the microchip inside the ball.
And they're talking, I mean, they did it in the Olympics this year.
For the indoor, great point.
The indoor, they could not challenge in or out because it was the Hawkeye technology.
Yeah, I think
this is probably the best look. That looks into me.
There's a lot of white being touched.
I'm not even sure that's the back half of the line. I think that might have been the front half of the line.
But that's why we review these things, to get them right. And you keep your challenge if you win it. What do you got for us, D? Oh, wow. Call stands.
I don't know. Interesting, but
Kind of
must
reading
have
body
seen
language
something.
there. Not sure if they got the full look of it. But as is life, we continue 3-1. And sometimes it works itself out.
Sometimes it works itself out. That's exactly right. Why do we even need challenges? It just let the next point determine.
Thank goodness we're in the rally scoring era.
Oh my goodness. You're not kidding.
And we're playing at 25 and not 30. But that's for another day, another conversation. Emma Farrell shoots it through the hands of one of Navy's best hitters, and it's all even at 3. What's the key here for Navy of settling into this set?
Find that second hitter. They've got to find another hitter. It can't all rely.
How Nealor does so much.
Yeah. It's just, she's been the center of the offense and the primary attacker.
She's also the primary serve target.
Well, they're making her work awfully hard. Wake Forest is making her work awfully hard.
Frankie to set this. Oh, the block stays in. Burgoyne reaches up and rejects it.
And of course, if Navy can get the block going, that will help too. That'll take some of the heat off of the Wake Forest attack.
Just the 3rd block for the Naval Academy, and Burgoyne has 2 of them. Grace only played in 1 match last year. This is such a young roster. 85% of the production gone. Well, there's the block you're talking about. Point
and that's
Navy.
2 in a row. You said they had only had 2. They just got 2 in a row, so they've doubled up their blocking.
Navy last year was really good at the block, 2.5 per set as a team. This is a new unit and a new middle guessed wrong, and Frankie takes care of it.
And that's what happens. It's exactly what you said. The middle guessed wrong. She was going out the side, and the set went into the middle, and Frankie had no resistance.
Because of the threat of Ricks on the outside. Yep. You don't want to leave her one-on-one.
Exactly.
Pick your poison, if you will. Ryan Baker rifles one to the back. Murphy with a strong swing, and Wake has even the set.
And that's why, and what we're talking about here is the conflict that the middle blocker for Navy is under. Wake's going outside, she's going to the right side, getting kills. Oh, there's the middle. Now I got to stay in because now I'm worried about the middle. Oh, there's the right side. And it's just, the middle is in conflict. She doesn't know who's getting set.
6 different players have 10 or more attacks and have a bunch of kills, so it's options too, including Frankie, who's roofed. Whoa, big hands from Burgoyne.
Well, Burgoyne guessed right that time. She sort of knew that the middle was coming, and I have a feeling Frankie was calling for that, and so she had a good idea that it was going to the middle. This is a great dig by Maruska, by the way, a perfect pass, a good one to run the middle on. She's got to cut that a little bit around the blocker.
A right-handed paw of Burgoyne, and then affecting the shot of Frankie there. So here's Navy. They needed a formula, and they worked to it with the middles.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple of blocks.
Bezario, the sophomore, comes in to serve. Out of a West Coast Power, Orange Lutheran High School, out of the Trinity League. Murphy reaches up for the block.
There wasn't much the outside hitter could do there. She was trapped, tight set. Murphy says, no problem, you've got nowhere to go.
17 blocks for Wake after 18 blocks as a unit last night. Wow, that actually lands in. Point Wake Forest.
Yeah, pinball around the two service receivers.
The libero passed it to the setter, and then it found the floor. Navy with a really unique position, hiding one of their backside players.
That's a middle they've got in the game.
Maruska misses a wide open court. That's a rarity and a point for Navy.
Actually, Bizarro is an outside that they were hiding, but she's 6'2", a sophomore, probably not known for her passing. So
hold on a second. Got to make sure he gets subbed in properly. There you go. The enthusiasm of Grace Burgoyne, who's really changed this set.
Yeah, her block in the middle has been much better this set.
Gotta love the enthusiasm, though, of Grace. Frankie has to reach up and touch it. Hawalea Lord gets a touch at the net, and point Navy.
Navy able to continue in this set where they were unable to in the first two.
More importantly, Navy has slowed down this Wake offense, who was cruising in the first two sets. Another hand in the middle. Options for Hansen. Hawalea Lord plays it smart off hands, and Navy with 3 straight points.
Yeah, and like you said, they're taking some of the heat off the Wake Forest attack because the block is stronger now. And they're able to get some touches that they weren't getting. And Wake doesn't have the free swings that they were getting earlier.
That service error ends a 3-point run. This is a real test for both programs. Can Navy force a 4th set? Can Wake Forest learn to close somebody out in 3?
And Navy has done that. They've fallen in 4 in each of their first 2 matches this weekend. They took a match off of, they took set 3 off of West Virginia, and then they took set 2 off of Hofstra.
Both those programs 2-1 on the weekend. He's on the line for Wake and through the hands of Frankie. Caught in between a bump and a return.
Yeah, difficult for her. She's a middle, playing in the back row for just this one rotation. And like you said, no, that was high enough. She tried to take with her hands, but there's just too much pace on it.
Here's the true freshman Issa Boyd, who 12 months ago won a state title down at St. Pius High School outside of Atlanta. Back row. That'll stay in.
Poor decision.
Unable to finish.
Yeah, her initial reaction was to take it with the pat, just pass it over for a free ball. Then she looked at it and said, oh, that's high enough, I can swing. And she ended up just hitting into the middle of the net.
Julia Humphrey played at nearby Northwest Guilford High School. Outside of Greensboro. Probably what, 20 minutes, 15 minutes with traffic?
With traffic.
Give or take.
Yeah, not a very long drive at all.
Depending on how you drive 40. That time she gets a full swing, but misses long, and Wake with back-to-back points. There's the assistant, Jake Hong, encouraging his front row that's been so impactful defensively. Good play. We've noted Wake Forest using its middles as a decoy. It sets up another Navy point.
And Navy hitting better in this set. Still only 071, but it seems like they've been hitting better. Been a little bit more consistent.
Charles gets a tip, then the ball creates confusion and point Wake Forest.
Of course, that's probably the reason that 143 for Navy looks good is because Wake's hitting minus 235. And of course, if you're hitting minus, means you've made more errors than you have kills.
That's what's kept this third set tight. 12-11 here in the third. Race to 25, win by 2. That time in system, and Navy takes advantage with Humphrey. And she comes out for the impactful middle in Burgoyne.
Humphrey with her 3rd kill on 5 swings. Does have a couple of errors, but...
So these next 5 to 7 points with Burgoyne on the court, these are must-win points for Navy. Meanwhile, this rotation, it's Charles in the middle, and Charles takes advantage. No blocker, no problem.
Yeah, no blocker. And that seems to be what it is. When Navy's able to set their block, they're doing pretty well. But when they're unable to set their block, let's see where she goes. She went to the right side. She was expecting that to go out to Ricks. Watch 22 go to the right. Oops.
And that seems more analytic driven than what your eyes are telling you. It's a tough balance.
You've got to respect the middle first.
Did that touch Wake? Okay, it did. Point Navy. A touch of the net. Ton of credit to this young Navy roster. Picked in the bottom of the Patriot League poll. Colgate, the reigning champs, who beat Duke in a 5-setter this weekend. They're the preseason favorites.
It's pretty impressive.
Oh, Frankie says, hey, I'm a fifth-year senior. I can swing it too.
And that's the conflict for Bergeloin. The middle for Navy is she just doesn't know. Wake's doing a great job of setting the middles as well as setting the right sides.
And that tempo's causing problems.
Yeah, it's absolutely causing problems.
8th all-time in career hit percentage at Wake. Alessio did a tough job saving it, and then a miss point blank for Murphy.
Yeah. That was a bad set, and
we'll take this timeout here. So a 2-point difference in the third set. Yep, we'll come back in just a second to wrap up the third. Expectation here for Navy.
Absolutely. You mentioned the 10-1 in 3-set matches and just how dominant they were throughout the season. But most of that is gone. You mentioned 83% of that is graduated. And so this team is quite a bit different, but you see where they're headed. Like, you can see that it's there for them to be good. They just got to work on getting a little bit more experienced.
The block has been big in set 3 for Navy, holding Wake to more errors than kills, and the dump kill gets Navy back on the board.
I think that's the first time we've seen that from her today.
And that is Arlie Hansen, the sophomore, who's studying operational research at the academy. Get different units that they'll work on during their tenure. Here's Crawford. Navy covering shots a lot better in this third set. And then Farrell has to bump it over.
That was a good job. Murphy reached.
Crawford into the double, and Farrell somehow there.
Great coverage.
That tandem, a great junior combination. And then the block stays in for Murphy.
2 really good defensive plays by Wake Forest. Baker picking up the play where after Murphy had reached for it. And then, as you're going to see here, this is the end of it, just the block. But then Farrell covering the Navy block, keeping that play alive. So 2 really good ups to keep that alive so that the block could get there.
Double-digit digs now for Emma Farrell. She did that 25 times a year ago. It was almost automatic. The setter goes into the stands, and this ball is blooped over by Alessio. Murphy reads the block. Oh, great effort by Hansen. That's in. What a point for Navy.
Yeah, same thing. Great hustle. You look at Hansen. Not sure you thought she was going to get to this. She comes all the way across from her setter position. And
you know, next week it's Scott Hansen taking the world by storm with Red Zone, but Arlie Hansen today making it happen, diving on the court. No relation, but all the same drama. Wake back within 2 here.
Navy has led this entire set as well. In the first 2 sets, Navy got off to a strong start, but Wake came back so quickly and kind of put it away in the middle part of the set. This one, Navy's hanging around.
This ties the highest point total for Navy in a set. A real opportunity here to push 4. Frankie to the deep line, and it works. An ace for Wake.
It's always a tough play when you don't know if it's in or out. You don't know how committed you want to be to it. You're waiting on your teammates. You're kind of going, are they going to say out, out, out?
70th time there's been push-ups for Elena Dragini. And that goes into the net.
It's funny. Wake Forest has 1 girl doing push-ups. Navy has the entire squad doing push-ups.
Certainly speaks to the culture of the Naval Academy, all bought in. And Wake very supportive of each other.
Oh yeah, they're supportive. They're just letting her do it.
Let's see what Navy can pull out here. Issa Boyd, one of 7 freshmen for the academy, serves it long, and both teams trading points.
Ricks is back into the front row for Wake Forest. She's been a little bit quiet this set. Wonder if her being in the front row is going to turn things a little bit.
Very good deep serve. Oh, it's scooped by Bellows, and then she has to play this. Boyd goes to the pin, and a kill for Navy. That time, Doris Nelson.
And that's a new name. Nelson hasn't had a ton of swings in this match.
Nelson's father was a high jump champ at Long Beach State, the Niners. Ricks. Ooh. What, like, oh. She thought about it and then wisely backed away.
Yeah, that's where you're hearing your teammates go, no.
I know you want to take a big swing, but we need the point.
Exactly.
Ricks back up to 7 kills for Wake. It's Maruska who has a team high 8. And
she does not have one in this set. Maruska does not have a kill in this set.
Howe Nealor up to 10. She's been the offense, but now in the back row for Navy. Bellows middle. That is a live ball, but Charles puts it through. Back even.
Wake Forest has made a concentrated effort this set to serve set the middles. Middles have been gotten a lot more swings in this set.
Hit the noggin of Nelson, and at the last second that falls in. Timeout Navy. Polito not too shabby either.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough tournament.
Out of the MAC, Navy will host a Solid Liberty program, UC San Diego and Cornell. It's that opening month of tournaments, then it dives into conference at the end of September.
And the idea is to get as many matches as you can in before conference play.
Don't tell softball that. They'll play about 30. There's a block at the net, and Wake's back up 1.
And I think for Wake Forest, this has been a good set in that they've trailed for most of it, but they're starting to work themselves into a position to win the set.
18 blocks, the difference here for Wake. Navy needs a point here on this swing. Farrell not so fast. Ricks off 1 foot with a slide shot dug out. Great effort by Farrell. Bellows from her knees. Back set through the block. Nelson secures it. Those are the type of points Navy has not won today.
And those are the kind of points that frustrate coaches so much. There was a clear double contact on Navy's side, but the new rule is we don't call double contacts anymore.
With the setter, great point.
With the setter, and so that play was allowed to continue, and Navy ended up winning it.
Excellent serve, and the push-ups begin for the Naval Academy. Coaches included. Race to 25, and here's Navy up 1. Bellows the back set. Ricks, smart roll shot. She's got 8.
That's such a good shot. And it's so hard to defend because she's got the angle if you want. The block is on the angle. The block's taking away that angle, and then she just rolls it over. The back row player has no shot of getting there.
Wake is now over the 0 hitting mark in this set. It's been a slow offensive night in set 3.
And the positive is it's still 21-21.
Overpass. Right back to her. Frankie plays the middle well.
And that's what you want. Anytime you're in Norfolk, not that far away from Annapolis, Norfolk also a big naval hub, naval port in Virginia. So
I can only imagine the pregame conversations.
I'm going to say, yeah.
Good battle here in Winston-Salem. We're in the midst of set 3. Wake Forest looking to match West Virginia and Hofstra for 2-1 weekends. Navy wants to force a 4th. Boyd back set, and that's been fantastic in this set. Nelson with the kill.
Yeah, Nelson's had a good set on that right side.
She's up to 6 kills and subs out in rotation.
Quietly their second leading player, and again, no errors. 6 kills, 10 swings, a 600 percentage.
And any help for Howe Nealor is so important. The Hawaiian product in the back. She digs that one out. A cut shot that Frankie is kept up. Second ball goes down. Buzziero.
That was a really nice dig in the back by Navy, because I thought Frankie going over on 2 was going to be an easy kill, but she's right there to make the dig. That's Hansen.
And then Alessio puts it in a great position on the save. Wow, timeout. Wake Forest is this.
These are the kind of sets that when you can win them, they give you a tremendous amount of confidence, especially if you're down a point. 23-22, okay, we're down 1. If you can win these next 3 points and take it 25-23, you feel so good about how you finish the set.
Navy back on serve with Ali Alessio, the Scottsdale product. Difficult scoop. Here's Navy in system on the slide. Did that hit a player? It did not. Out of bounds. Point Wake Forest. And a challenge coming.
Challenge, yeah, they're gonna see about that.
A smart challenge given the score and circumstance.
So the call on the court is that the ball was out, and they're going to challenge whether there was a touch. So there was no touch ruled. They're going to challenge
a Wake player.
Yep.
Burgoyne has been so effective, both offensively and on the defensive side, with that swing.
So we're going to see if this ball touches a Wake Forest player off the net. It definitely hit the net. I did not see it hit Frankie.
And it didn't touch Rick, so I think that's out.
I don't see this hitting Frankie. That's really the question, is does it hit the net and Frankie, or does it just hit the net?
Would not seem to be.
I do not see anything to overturn that.
And that Marshall camera is right on top of the net. That's our best look.
So it looks to me like the referees got it right, that hit the net and then went out of bounds.
Wait. Look at that shirt. Volleyball served hot with the Starbucks logo.
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't seen it.
That's a super fan right there.
It is.
You know, replays are one thing, but important shirts. Call stands.
And the call stands. And I think that's absolutely right. What we saw confirmed that ball hit the net, did not touch Frankie, and then went out of bounds.
Serving up a great third set here in Winston-Salem. You might need some coffee the way this match is going. Dynamic third set. And Ryan Baker back in to serve.
Well, now, of course, we're at 23-all, so you have to win by 2.
And now we're ready to go. First ever meeting, Navy and Wake Forest. Really tight. Murphy wins it at the net. Match point.
And that's a big swing point, because now the gym gets excited. The fans are going to start stomping, and Navy's feeling pressured.
Can Navy handle adversity? Wake Forest searching for a 2-1 weekend. Navy cannot return it. Wake Forest the ace, and a 3-point swing to secure the sweep.
And that's what we were talking about. How do you finish sets?